YouTube because I really don't have that much storage on my phone right here. So usually I will show my face when I'm doing my commentary video that's non-ceiling fan related, but I decided to show you guys my Hampton Bay Huntington 3 ceiling fan running on low. But that's not what I came on this video for. But I'm about to go on and get started with my introduction. About to introduce myself to the video. All right, YouTube subscribers, my name is Ray Shine, known as Ray Niz on Facebook, also known as Mr. Ceiling Fan Man 1999 on YouTube. Now, what's going on is that I'm just coming on this video to talk about the ceiling fan letter jokes. So I'm not making a demonstration video of the ceiling fan here. I'm just telling my opinion about the ceiling fan letter jokes. Now, what's up, Aiden? Now, what's going on is that there's a lot of people on YouTube talking about that the ceiling fan letter jokes is getting out of hand. Now, I'm about to go on and get started off with this letter right here, the W and the, so starting off with the W and the M ceiling fan jokes. Now, the W and the M ceiling fan jokes, it's a joke that I got from some ceiling fan collector by the YouTube username of Ryan the Fan Guy, cause Ryan the Fan Guy is the one that started the W and the M ceiling fan letter jokes. Cause it's a couple people that said that I was the one that started the joke, but Ryan the Fan Guy was the one that started the joke. But I really didn't even, but I'm not saying it as in that I'm trying to get people to target after him. So I don't want you guys targeting after Ryan the Fan Guy or cussing him out, saying something like some negative stuff to him. I'm not going to even try to mention all that stuff because I don't want to put myself in a predicament of giving y'all the ideas to start saying some bad stuff to Ryan the Fan Guy. So I ain't going to list them all on there. But he the one that started the W and M ceiling fan jokes, and I really find them funny, but it is dumb to do that to a ceiling fan at the same time. And the reason why I say it's dumb to do that to a fan because it's like if you have a 5-blade ceiling fan and you remove one of the blades and stuff, and then 4 of the blades is pointing towards the direction that you're facing in, then it'll look like a shape of a letter W. And if 4 of the blades is pointing towards you, then it'll look like a shape of a letter M. And then what really be getting on a lot of fan collectors' nerves is sub ceiling fan man. Is like I could turn the fan off and stop one of the blades. Hold on, I can't even reach something. Dang it, I'm stepping all on the clothes and stuff. Can't even reach one of the blades up there. Yeah, so the thing about it is, hold on you guys. Let me make some space for myself so I can get to the fan. Yeah, so what really be making a lot of people in the fan community annoyed is that somebody will remove one of the blades and all that stuff. And then the next thing is, then it would be like, all right, you guys, so I'm about to show you guys a video of my Hampton Bay Huntington 3. And it's about to go W and an M. And then they also say, so if the ceiling fan is facing like this, then it's the shape of a letter W. And if it's in a position like this, then it looks like a letter M. Yeah, but hold on, you guys, because, see, you really can't even tell that it's making random different letters because of the angle that the camera in. Next thing is, then they'll turn the fan on and all that stuff. And then the next thing is, then they'll just say, W and M, W and M, W and M. Now, a lot of people in the fan community find that annoying and stuff. But me personally, I don't find that annoying. Because I be finding it funny because that stuff gets stuck in my head too. Like, dang, hold on, I can't even get this blade on here, right? Hold on, you guys. Yeah, so the next thing is that see, what really annoys a lot of people in the fan community is like when somebody like run a 5-blade ceiling fan with a missing blade, and somebody just constantly go WNM, 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 WNM. Like but I try not to say it too many times because that will make the video annoying and all that stuff to the point that it's gonna have the viewers saying some stuff like, man, how long y'all gonna keep saying W and M? Is that all y'all gonna keep saying? Cause y'all, if y'all gonna be saying that stuff through the whole video, y'all, I might as well just leave the video. Because that will get annoying to other people and stuff. But what I will admit is that it is dumb, that it's a dumb thing to do to a ceiling fan. Because what can happen is, like, what if the ceiling fan could have been installed on a plastic junction box? What if the ceiling fan could have been installed on a junction box that's metal, but it's not really rated for ceiling fans? Or what if it could have been installed in an older home, like where the junction box is actually supported by a bracket, like how they used to do back in the 20s and the 30s, and all that stuff. And then the next thing is, or what if your house could have been built back in the 1900s till about the 1940s, like when your house had knobby tube wiring or cloth wiring and stuff, where the cloth wiring are really known for peeling and stuff, and you run the ceiling fan, and the ceiling fan is constantly wobbling worse than the pendulum and all that stuff, and it's making the wires come loose and all that stuff. Then it could have moved the wires inside the junction box, and the wires could have been made out of cloth, and the wires could have got the peeling and stuff to the point that it would have got the arcing up against the metal junction box, and it would have caused a house fire or an electrical fire and all that stuff. That would have been dangerous. I'm not trying to jinx it or anything. Or it can also mess up the junction box, or it can also cause the ceiling fan to dislodge from the ceiling. Well, my Hampton Bay Huntington 3 ceiling fan that I'm showing you guys, due to the fact that my house was built in 1930 and they didn't even use the junction boxes in this room at the time. So what they end up doing is, yeah, so they end up installing some light fixtures that was mounted directly onto the stud. So therefore, the ceiling fan is mounted directly onto the stud, which is what you call the ceiling joist. So that's what the ceiling fan is mounted directly onto, the ceiling joist. But if I would have ran that ceiling fan while the ceiling fan is going W and M and all that stuff, then that could have caused the screws to stretch out the holes that's on the ceiling joist and stuff, and it could cause the ceiling fan to dislodge from the ceiling, and the ceiling fan would have got the flying off the ceiling. And then the next thing is it could crash into a wall, or it could cause an injury to somebody, or it could cause an injury to you or anybody that's in the room that the ceiling fan is in, and it flies off the ceiling, all because it was going W and M. And plus it'll throw the ceiling fan off balance and all that stuff, because for the remaining blades that's on the ceiling fan is putting weight on one side of then when it goes like in the 360 motion, which is what you call a revolution. So it's gonna put more weight. So if the blades is on the right side, it's gonna put more weight on the right side to the point that the ceiling fan will be tilting in the left position. And if the remaining blades is on the left side of the room, then it'll put more weight on the blades to the point that the ceiling fan will start to tilt in the right direction and all that stuff. And then the next thing is, then it's gonna start swinging like in a pendulum motion, like if you ever look at a pendulum on a grandfather clock, or if you ever look at a pendulum that's inside of a bell and all that stuff, that's how the ceiling fan gonna be shaking, and the ceiling fan gonna be shaking real worse. Oh, and then speaking of that, like if you ever remember that 12 Bell Marabi, or whatever his YouTube username is, he made a video called Wobbly Regency Fan at Subway, when he did a video of a Regency MX EXO ceiling fan, and that ceiling fan wobbled worse on high speed. It's just that it wasn't noticeable on camera. See, the ceiling fan is going to be wobbling worse than the Regency MX EXO ceiling fan that 12 Bama Robbie did a video of at Subway back in 2010. So of course W&M is scary and all that stuff, because it'll make you scared that the ceiling fan will fall off the ceiling. So that's why it's really not good to do those W&M ceiling fan videos and all that stuff. Even though at the same time people are just having fun with their fans and all that stuff. And people going to do whatever they want to do with their ceiling fans. Like, cause you have some videos of people doing some stupid stuff to their ceiling fans, like whacking the ceiling fan with a broom like it's a pinata, people jumping into a ceiling fan, people hanging off of a ceiling fan, people swinging on the ceiling fan like a monkey swinging on a tree. Then you got people that be just whacking the ceiling fan with their bare hand and all that stuff and hurting their hand and all that stuff. And then what else? Then you also have people and I like the honey to three showing right now. Thank you. And then you have people also destroying ceiling fans, like some guy named Sean K. He destroys a lot of ceiling fans. Like, he be hammering the ceiling fan, breaking blade brackets, doing whatever. Like, people just be doing all kinds of crazy things to a ceiling fan. So, of course, it's going to be some YouTube videos of people doing something to a ceiling fan that we don't even like to see people do to a ceiling fan. But at the same time, we don't have no control over what people do to their ceiling fans, because a lot of people on YouTube, they don't even give a crap about ceiling fans, like how me and a lot of us in the fan community gives a crap about ceiling fans. But if I did say a cussing word, excuse me for the cursing. But a lot of people in the fan community don't even give a crap about ceiling fans as much as we all in the fan community do. So that's why we can't get mad at the people. But it does get irritating that you have people destroying ceiling fans. And just like some gentlemen by the Vintage Fans and More, like back in the early 2010s or sometime in 2009, I don't even remember, but he made a video called Killing Alexis the Ceiling Fan. And that video was supposed to be about when he was whacking the Heritage Alexis ceiling fan with a broom and all that stuff. Like, he was like, when he did a video of the Heritage Alexis ceiling fan, and it was a generic Hugger ceiling fan, and it didn't have a light kit, and it had cane blades. And he did a video of him whacking that ceiling fan with a broom. But he ended up taking the video down because he doesn't want to he took the video down as he didn't want people to he didn't want to put himself in a predicament that he was going to be giving people the idea to start doing stuff like that to their ceiling fans. And then I'm about to go on and tell you what happened back in 2012 when I was 13 years old. So I remember back then in 2012, I was messing with the black and polished brass ceiling fan in my father's room, the master bedroom, which is the Furio ceiling fan. Now, the Furio ceiling fan is the black and polished brass ceiling fan I filmed in my father's room. Now, what happened back in 2012 was, when I tried to bend the blade brackets back to the best of my ability, the next thing is that one of the blade brackets snapped off the ceiling fan, and 4 of the remaining blades was left on the ceiling fan. So when I turned the ceiling fan on, it was going W&M, W&M, W&M. But it wasn't called W&M at that time because that W&M ceiling fan letter jokes, it didn't even exist back then. So I just didn't even say W&M because I didn't even find, like, I didn't even see the ceiling fan making random letters and all that stuff at that time, because it was in 2012. And then next thing is that due to the fact that I didn't even know that the light kit on the Furio ceiling fan had a shortage in there, and guess what ended up happening? So when I tried that stuff, and then the next thing is that the light kit got the sparking and all that stuff, to the point that it kept on shooting sparks like constantly. And then the light kit kept on sparking like pop, 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 pop. And then the last time when my father tried to use the ceiling fan, the light kit just kept going pop, 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 pop. Like, it was just doing that stuff for like around 6 to 10 seconds. To the point that my father got scared to use the ceiling fan back in 2013 when it was really hot enough because of that dumb stuff that I did to his ceiling fan in his bedroom. But the light kit already had a shortage because of the wires on the light sockets was already frail and stuff, and they was falling apart at the time, and I didn't even know it. So I ain't gonna even try to put all the blame on myself for that stuff, because the light kit already had a shortage when I was growing up anyway. But but the reason why the Furio ceiling fan is still in my father's room still to this day, because back in 2015, I replaced the bad light sockets off the light kit and replaced it with some different light sockets that came off of a ceiling fan light kit that I parted out. And when I tried them on my ceiling fan, my father's Furio ceiling fan spotlight kit, and when I rewired his light kit and got his light kit to work again, that light kit haven't sparked ever since then. And the light kit working like it's brand new. And my father was really happy that I fixed his light kit and stuff anyway. But I did, yeah, but I don't know why I'm getting off subject about the letter jokes and stuff. But going back to the letter jokes right there, now, and then I remember that I did a video on my Hampton Bay menu with two ceiling fan going A and V. Now, if you guys don't know what A and V is another ceiling fan letter joke that I got from Ryan the Fan Guy. Like, he had a video of a 3-blade ceiling fan, and if you remove one of the blades off of the 3-blade ceiling fan, and if the 2 remaining blades is pointing towards the direction that you're facing in, then it'll look like a shape of a letter A. And if 2 of the blades is pointing towards you, then it'll look like the shape of a letter V. And then the next thing is, now for a 4-blade ceiling fan, now here's the joke that I came up with for a 4-blade ceiling fan. If you have a 4-blade ceiling fan, and if one of the blades is pointing, on the left side of your face, and you got the 3 remaining blades, and if one of the blades is pointing towards the left side, pointing towards the left wall in your house and all that stuff, and one of the blades is pointing towards your direction, and the other blade is pointing the opposite direction that you pointing towards the opposite direction that you in and all that stuff. But it's gonna be hard for you to picture it and all that stuff. But some of you guys already know what I mean by that. So like if you have 2 of the blades, like this blade is on, like this blade is pointed towards the front wall, and the other blade is pointed towards the back wall, and the third blade is pointed towards the left side of the wall on the 4-blade fan that's missing a blade. It looks like a shape of a number 3. But if the blade, like one of the blades is pointed towards the front wall and the other blade is pointed towards the back wall, and if the third blade is pointed towards the right wall, then it'll look like the shape of a letter E. That's the joke that I came up with for a 4-blade fan that's missing a blade. And then it's a joke that Aiden Ceiling Fan Corner came up with for a 4-blade fan that's missing a blade. So if 2 of the blades, like if one blade is pointed towards the front wall and the second blade is pointed towards the left wall and the third blade is pointed towards the right wall, sup. And then it'll look like the shape of a letter T. And then if the blade is pointed towards the right wall and the back blade is pointed towards the back wall, and if you ignore the blade that's pointed towards the front wall and focus on the blade that's pointed towards the right wall and the other blade pointed towards the back wall, then it'll look like the shape of a letter L. And then so when you run the fan with a 4-blade, if you run a 4-blade ceiling fan with a missing blade, and then the next thing is, so this the joke that I would say 3 and E, 3 and E, 3 and E. Aiden Ceiling Fan Corner will say TNL, TNL, TNL. But Aiden Ceiling Fan Corners don't make no ceiling fan letter jokes no more, as he realized that it was Yeah. And then, so if you have a one blade ceiling fan, like if you have a ceiling fan and you only have one out of all the remaining blades that you were supposed to put on there, it'll go I exclamation point, I exclamation point, I exclamation point. But I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Cause yeah, because that's something that a lot of people don't even like anyway. And then I remember that Horsepower did a video of him doing his commentary on the ceiling fan letter jokes, saying that it's really dumb to do, which it is dumb to do. And then, but at the same time, people just going to do whatever they want to do with their fans anyway. So it ain't nothing I have to say about this stuff. And just like you do have some people that be spray painting the ceiling fan, like spray paint, like they will put some spray paint over brass plating and all that stuff, which is one of the reasons why the paint peels and stuff. Yeah, so that's why they tell you not to do that stuff. But yeah, it's a ceiling fan letter joke right there. That's stupid right there. And then due to the fact that this house that I'm living in right now, this really my father's house. It's just that I just call this my house because it's the house that I grew up in all my life and all that stuff. And I've been living in this house ever since I was born. But this is really my father's house because this house that I'm living in, my father bought this house back in 1988. So, other than that, I'm about to go in and I'm about to go on and tell you something else. What I was now, since I really remember what I was about to say. If my father would have saw me doing the video, if my father would have saw me doing the letter joke to a ceiling fan, my father would have been mad because he will. Even though my father's not really into ceiling fans for real, but he already know that is stupid to do a letter joke to a fan, and it is dangerous and all that stuff because that could cause the wires to come loose. And then the next thing is then it'll have the ceiling fan to have a shortage and the wires will get the arcing and all that stuff. And then just like I did a video of my Hampton Bay Huntington 3 ceiling fan and polished brass, the one that polished brass and all that stuff that's installed in my dining room. And I did a video of that fan going W&M. And when I put that ceiling fan on high speed, I kind of heard some knocking. And it was coming from the ball socket of the ceiling fan. Which is why I had to switch it down to... Which is why I had to hurry up and turn it off before I let it get to full speed. Because I did not want to take a chance of the ceiling fan falling down anyway. When I did a video of my Hampton Bay Huntington 3 ceiling fan going W&M. But other than that, I just about ran out of what I had to say about this fan. No. I take that back. I just about ran out of what I had to say for this video. So, this is Mr. Ceiling Fan Man 1999 signing out this live video, and I am out.